How many times have you heard someone mention Kawhi's uncle on TV? Or better yet, how did Kawhi become so great? Is it radioactive ooze, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style? Was he bitten by a radioactive Scottie Pippen, turning him into Super Pip? Or, maybe it's Uncle Dennis. That's right, Uncle Jesse, Uncle Junior, and even the best TV uncle of all the TV uncles, Uncle Phil, has nothing on Kawhi Leonard's real-life uncle. Uncle Dennis has been one of the most famous, headline-grabbing family members of NBA ballers these past few years. Quite frankly, he's right behind LaVar Ball. In all seriousness, Uncle Dennis is the brother of Kawhi's mother, Kim Robertson. Kawhi lost his father, Mark Leonard, while he was still in high school, after he was shot and killed at his Compton car wash in January of 2008. Unfortunately, the killers are still at large to this day. Enter Uncle Dennis. Kawhi is the youngest sibling and only boy in a family of 5. Uncle Dennis became the surrogate father Kawhi needed during the confusing years of his adolescence. He needed someone to look up to. Uncle Dennis took on that role. In an interview with the San Antonio Express News in 2014, Uncle Dennis said, "Our family has always been close. It didn't change the way I looked at things. I was happy to be there so my sister wouldn't have to go through that process." Kawhi noted, "With my dad passing away, there aren't too many men in the family, and he's a great guy to just talk to. He's been through life already." To Kawhi, Uncle Dennis is a good guy to talk to. To his NBA career, he became his chief advisor. His journey didn't actually start in San Antonio though. Like many diamonds, Kawhi was discovered in the classic basketball hotbed of Indiana. The Pacers made Kawhi the 15th overall pick of the 2011 NBA draft. However, they traded him along with 2 other prospects to the Spurs for point guard George Hill. Think about that for a second. The Pacers lost out on the claw for journeyman George Hill. Uncle Dennis didn't make too many headlines during Kawhi's first 6 years in the NBA, but this changed during Kawhi's injury-plagued 2017-2018 season with the Spurs. All in all, he suited up for just 9 games due to an apparent right quad injury. Kawhi's doctors didn't believe him to be healthy enough to resume the season, while the Spurs medical staff cleared him to play. But it got tricky when Uncle Dennis entered the situation.
And I think that's why I and you and others, Stephen A., have zeroed in on the uncle. Because the relationship seemed to be in a good place and it's going along and he's getting better and better in the Spurs. And then the uncle takes over the business and now this.
I've been told directly that the uncle has been a problem. So I'm not deducing it to the uncle. I have been told directly that the uncle is a problem for the organization, even though he's categorically denied that.
Some believe Kawhi and Uncle Dennis had ulterior motives. They made calculated decisions to separate themselves from the Spurs after feeling the medical situation was mishandled. Uncle Dennis reportedly wanted San Antonio to trade his nephew to a big market team such as the 76ers. He resides in nearby New Jersey. The Lakers, Kawhi is an LA native, or the Knicks. All of these reports, rumors, whispers, whatever else have you, is mostly conjecture. We'll probably never know what really for real went down in San Antonio because Kawhi is the opposite of loud and Greg Popovich doesn't exactly go out of his way to destroy former players. The Spurs eventually traded Kawhi and Danny Green to the Raptors for All-Star guard DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a first-round draft choice in 2019. Uncle Dennis and Kawhi are fiercely loyal to one another. However, there's more to this mysterious character than meets the eye. Uncle Dennis has 27 years of experience in the banking industry and has been the president of U.S. Elite Athlete Division, a company which specializes in business etiquette training and professional development since 2014. While Uncle Dennis is not a certified player agent, he wants to establish a business similar to LeBron James' LRMR marketing company. Even if that business hasn't materialized, he and Kawhi are already earning 7 figures annually on real estate property shares in New York City. An ESPN report says several current and former associates and colleagues describe Uncle Dennis as difficult and portray an ambitious family member trying to parlay his nephew's success into his own marketing company. When you consider the terms ulterior motive, difficult, and ambitious to describe one side of Uncle Dennis, a red flag goes up. Is he using Kawhi's success and superstardom for his own personal glory? On the other hand, is he a misunderstood uncle and surrogate dad who only wants the best for his nephew? It's a lot to think about. as we're fresh off Phil Jackson calling LeBron James' business partners a posse, as well as several other coded ways of diminishing the roles of black businessmen. Uncle Dennis might be, at least by some narrative pushing, the victim of code. At this point, you be the judge. The more Kawhi's incredible NBA career unfolds before our very eyes, the more we'll learn about the man they call Kawhi's uncle.